Most men are wired to believe that love is earned through action, through doing, saying, giving. They think if they compliment her enough, surprise her with flowers, or plan elaborate dates, she naturally fall for them. But what they fail to realize is that women don't fall in love through logic. They fall through emotion, through the subtle, powerful feelings they experience when they're around you. And the truth is, it's not about what you say or what you give. It's about how she feels in your presence, especially when nothing is being said at all. One of the deepest triggers for emotional connection is how you handle her silence. That moment when she's quiet, withdrawn, or distant, it's not random. She's not always testing you consciously, but she is noticing. Noticing how you react. Most men immediately fill the gap with nervous talking, explanations, or demands for clarity. But that energy pushes her further away. She doesn't want pressure, she wants presence. When you remain calm, unshaken by her silence, something shifts. She starts to feel safe, not because you solved her, but because you didn't need to. Your calm tells her, I'm not here to fix or force. I'm just here, steady, and that stability, it's rare. It speaks louder than words. It makes her feel emotionally held even when no one is touching her. Slowly, without even realizing. She starts to attach not to what you say, but to how she feels when you're near. That quiet, emotional security is what she craves most, even if she's never been able to put it into words. She doesn't need more gifts or compliments. She needs a man who stays grounded when she goes silent. Because that's when she feels seen. Even in her most unspoken moments, emotional pressure is where most men start to fall apart. The moment a woman shows intensity, whether it's anger, sadness, or confusion, they rush to fix it. They interrupt. They defend. They try to control the outcome so they can feel better. But what they don't see is that this is the exact moment she's watching who you really are. Not in your best moments, but in your most uncomfortable ones. She doesn't need a fixer. She needs a container, someone who can hold space for her feelings without trying to shut them down or run away. When a woman gets emotional, she's not always looking for solutions. Sometimes she's testing, can you stay present while she unravels? Can you breathe while she storms? Most men can't. They get uncomfortable. They flinch. They try to take back control. But the man who stays calm in the fire, who listens without reacting, who doesn't shrink under pressure, that man changes the game. His grounded energy says, you don't scare me. Your emotions don't overwhelm me. And that's where the attachment starts to build. Not because he said the right thing, but because he didn't lose himself in her chaos. The emotional composure becomes a sanctuary for her. It makes her feel something she rarely feels safe to feel, everything. And the truth is, the man who can hold space for a woman's full emotional range without needing to silence her or fix her is the one she remembers. Because it's not just about being strong, it's about being present. And presence, especially in the face of intensity, creates the kind of emotional safety that leads to deep, lasting connection. She doesn't fall for the guy who tries to solve her. She falls for the one who can sit with her storm and still be unmoved. Man's true power is revealed in how he protects his energy. Women are deeply drawn to the man who doesn't hand out his attention to just anyone, who isn't always available, and who doesn't feel the need to chase validation. He's not playing games, he's just rooted in self-respect. He doesn't rush to reply to every message, doesn't explain himself just to stay liked, and doesn't beg for time or connection. And that calm detachment? It radiates strength. Women can feel it, even if they can't explain it. It's in the way he carries himself, the boundaries he holds, and the peace he refuses to trade. That kind of energy is rare. It says, my life is full, and I choose carefully who I share it with. That's not arrogance, it's masculine leadership. And when a woman senses that, it pulls her in. She realizes she's dealing with a man who knows his worth, a man who doesn't need her to feel whole, which ironically makes her want to be closer. But it goes deeper. She also starts to notice how he handles her imperfections. When she's moody, unsure, or just not at her best, he doesn't criticize, he doesn't shame. He accepts her as she is without trying to change her. And that permission to be imperfect, to be real, creates a bond that no amount of charm can manufacture. Because women don't fall for men who make them feel flawless. They fall for the ones who make them feel safe even in their flaws. When she knows she can show up as her raw, unfiltered self and still be met with grounded acceptance, that's when she starts to open up. That's when emotional trust begins. And once that's built, love starts to follow quietly, powerfully, and without needing to be forced. Real leadership doesn't look like control, it looks like direction. It's not about overpowering her or dominating every moment. It's about moving with quiet confidence, with purpose, with calm authority. When a man knows where he's going, he doesn't have to force anything. She feels it. She senses that she can relax around him, not because he demands it, but because his energy allows it. He makes decisions without hesitation, guides the connection, without pressure, and holds space without making it about control. That's what makes her start to trust him, not his words, but the certainty in his presence. When a woman meets a man who moves with that kind of grounded intention, she starts to let go of her need to lead everything. She lets herself soften, not because he took her power, but because she can finally rest in his. And that's something few men ever give her. But it's not just in how he leads, it's also in how he lets things unfold. Most men try too hard to connect. They overshare, ask deep questions too soon, or try to manufacture intimacy. But the man who lets the connection breathe, who gives her space to open at her own pace, that man stands out. He doesn't rush the moment, he doesn't force vulnerability. He listens not to reply but to understand. He doesn't fear silence. He welcomes it. And in that stillness, something real starts to grow, a bond that's not built on pressure but on presence. That kind of connection isn't loud, it's deep. And when she finally opens up, it's not because she was convinced. It's because she felt safe. Because emotional depth doesn't come from intensity, it comes from patience. And the man who respects that timing is the one she starts to feel something real for, without even knowing why. The man who truly captivates a woman isn't the one trying to become her everything. He's the one already becoming something with or without her. His life has momentum. His goals are in motion. He doesn't wait for her to complete him because he's already in the process of becoming complete on his own. And that energy is magnetic. He's not constantly talking about his dreams, he's living them. He doesn't try to impress with words, his actions speak for him. And the less he tries to prove his value, the more she feels drawn to it. Because deep down, every woman wants to feel like she's stepping into a world that's already rich with purpose and meaning. She doesn't want to be the reason he grows. She wants to witness his growth and join the ride. That's when admiration turns into attraction. And it goes even further when he's emotionally composed. He's not cold, he's just not desperate. He's not easily shaken, he doesn't react to every shift in her mood. He doesn't need constant reassurance or validation. That kind of emotional control creates something powerful, emotional gravity. It's the feeling that no matter what happens, he's not losing his center. And when she senses that her chaos doesn't disturb his peace, something clicks. Her curiosity deepens. Her attraction turns into emotional investment. Because the truth is, women don't fall for men who chase them. They fall for the ones who are already whole, already moving, already living with purpose. So if you really want to know how deep attachment forms, stop asking what to do or say. Start becoming the man whose presence creates safety, whose energy builds trust, and whose life speaks for itself. Because when you're that man, love doesn't need to be chased, it naturally finds you.